Hold on, let me make sure that okay. YouTube should now have a voice.
Yeah.
Sai, how are we doing? Did I thank you. Okay, well, I'm glad the subtitles were working. That's something. It means the first 15 minutes are not a complete waste. Okay, so you want me to paste in your actual prompt, and I'll just literally recreate it so that we don't have another variable making you think, well, maybe that fixed it.
Okay. This was the prompt I used.
Cats are looking at the metallic donut. Cats are looking at the metallic donut. Okay, so you didn't give it permission to touch any of these other things. And it
That's
did.
right. Yeah.
So let's see. Let's see if it does that. And if so, we found a bug. Oh, Sai, thank you.
Yeah.
Here we go. What's going to happen? Oh my God. The suspense is killing me. We found a bug.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So let me go report this. Or really, Maltz, can I give you these outputs and let you go report it so that I can keep hosting?
Sure.
Okay. Let me open a DM to you and I'll throw these.
Yep, just chuck them over.
Chuck them over to you.
Is the well, it should be, but is the edit model the same? It doesn't work the same.
It
on
is the
Alpha
same.
Or Midjourney.com.
It should all be the same. It
Right.
should all be
Okay.
the same. Here's the selection, Maltz, and then here are the results.
The original image I take from the chat.
Okay. Result number 1. These are the really cute cats, but I don't see why they're interacting with parts that we didn't select. Here's number 2. Do you think that's sufficient, or should I provide all 4? Let's start with 2, and I'll give you the job ID.
Yeah, that's probably fine.
Copy job ID.
They seem to love job IDs.
They sure do. Okay, thank you for getting that reported, and thank you, Nocturne Cat, for bringing it up. This is why we're here. Who else has some funky stuff to talk about? Like you remember Reason you said it doesn't do the character's resemblance very much. That there is a chance that what we said earlier, like it's not able to imagine the blah blah, is true, but it's also true that it could just be broken. So let's get those ideas out here so that we can experiment with it. Hi, Linda on Facebook. It is rendering images in areas that we did not give it permission to render. Thank God it's adorable. It's like at least it's adorable. It didn't do that with the horse. Weirdly.
Right.
But it did ignore one of the areas.
Oh.
Let's do a face and put different hats on it. Okay. Let's do a face. No. Images, please. All right. Who do we want to put different hats on? I have to get someone who has the top of their head visible. Well, we can outpaint and then add it. All these people look the same. This
Midjourney woman is back.
I know, this must be the archetype for the word face.
Here, I got a picture of a person you could put a hat on. I'm sharing it in the chat.
I like this one. Okay, we will do it, but I like this one because I can say put a hat on the woman with black hair. The woman with dark hair is wearing a top hat. So I'm helping Midjourney identify what has to change, where it has to change, and then there we go. And then of course
Oh, wow.
it truncated the top hat because there's not a lot of room. If I wanted to fix that, I'd have to do open editor and, make the picture a little bit taller.
How many times did you guys have to test this out? Can you say that?
I don't know if we can say that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
David mentioned sometime that it's being tested, then you can assume it's being tested.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to try this as not in painting. It's not a region-based edit. The woman with dark hair is wearing a top hat. And I'm going to say in the style of photography, because I feel like the hat wasn't in the right style. Like it didn't match the photographic style of the picture. Who's this guy, Reason?
That's Zach. He said it. Everybody, people that were there, they heard him. They said, "Make pictures of me. Use my picture." So he literally asked for it.
Okay. Why are these top hats so short now that I've extended the picture?
Yeah.
Wearing a tall silk top hat. Darn it.
Oh, wait. Actually, I got a fun experiment.
Okay.
See if you can replace.
Oh my God. Well, it worked, but it got all like party.
Yeah.
So the answer
Probably because of the same.
to good editor prompting is specificity.
Yeah.
In case you guys haven't picked up on that. Hey, Allie.
I like the party hat.
I know.
Yeah.
She looks like she's having some fun, but that's not what I meant.
Right.
And I don't think it's photographic.
Yeah.
That's okay. That one almost looks real. I wonder what happens if I do say raw. Do I get more photographic? I don't know. The style matching is kind of weak. What if I also put the original as a style reference? Nice combination of refs. Let's see, does that work? I don't know. Does that look like a photographic hat?
More than the earlier ones.
Yeah. Let me change it to a different kind of hat. It's wearing a wool fedora.
It's funny, Typhon.
So we have a texture, so we can examine the texture.
Yeah.
That looks photographic. It doesn't really look like it's not. I don't know. This is easier to see that it's real because the texture is easier to examine.
Yeah, with especially shiny or silk-like materials, it kind of
Yeah.
looks unreal, even in reality.
Exactly. I'm not using Zach's picture because I'm streaming and he's a real person.
Right.
Hey, he asked for it.
He literally asked for it. I'm actually
Yeah,
making cool
but, like-
images of him personally. I mean, I think he'll actually like the images I made. Like here's one. Oh wait, that's not the right.
You know what?
Yeah.
The live captions were not hearing my voice this whole time. So it was only.
Oh, now they are.
And now they are. Hey, it's Blue Names Amalgamated joining on YouTube. And Linda. Wait, Linda is related to Johnny. Oh. Hi,
Ooh, another
Linda.
bones.
We've got a whole closet of skeletons over there with all those bones.
You know what I'm doing
Yeah.
is going through the explore page and finding cool prompts.
I know,
And
I
then
did that
just-
too when we were testing. Oh my god.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
And then
Yeah, I
just
would
adding the character
just-
to
drag them up into the thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love you, Reason.
yeah. Yeah.
Who else wants their microphone? Matt, how are you doing? Who has questions? Who sees things that aren't working the way they expect? It doesn't work on mobile. That's a bug.
Big bug.
Yeah.
Squish it.
Also,
mention it
Oh,
here.
sorry.
Mention it here. Okay, hold. Whoops. Nope. Not alpha ideas and bugs. That is not what I wanted to type. I auto-completed wrong. What? Where's AI? Where? Oh, I see. It's called bug reporting. That's because I'm not very smart. There we go. Bug reporting. Okay. Yes, Tanner, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm starting to feel a little bit more tired than I wanted to be, so I'm gonna dip. But I hope to see y'all at the next Promptcraft games, though.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tanner.
Right.
Night,
Yep. Bye.
Tanner. Take care.
This is so cool. Okay, so let's try what Reason just said. So this is something I was doing also, and I really encourage people to do it. I would, for me, what I was doing is taking characters that are unlikely to look right, because I'm experimenting. I'm going to see, how does Midjourney imagine this, and I'll say, you know, the cat is prancing through a meadow. Like, how does it interpret? Can it tell that it's a cat? This is a cat, you know, and if it can, how does it interpret prancing through a meadow, and what does it do with the rest of the cat's body? And God, it's good at it. Isn't it just so good? Its imagination is so spot on.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm a bit blown away. Like I didn't
look at this.
think Midjourney would do as a good job as it did right now. This is really awesome.
Okay, here the boy is sitting on a couch watching cartoons. Look how complicated he is. Right? I mean, look, memorize some of the details. There's a label on either side of his box. It's red on top, yellow on the bottom. There's some sort of, I don't know, astronaut-y blue and red thing at the top. His hair is emerging from it. Lots of detail. Let's see how Midjourney did. I accidentally described it. Look at that. It basically just blended it into a new image. Let me try to change his position. Boy is lounging lazily on a couch. Tiredly watching cartoons. I'm trying to get it to break away. Of course, I've got the wrong aspect ratio. And I gotta tell you, I am seeing a lot of big changes with the aspect ratio. Like, you can get a lot done by changing your aspect ratio. Holy crap, look. His astronaut, his two labels, yellow on the bottom, red on the top, his hair coming out, his weird rocket bottle, what's he doing? We're gonna give him some privacy. Yeah, his hands in the pocket in every one of these. I mean, it's awesome. He's got cartoons on. Look, he's got The Simpsons on. Aspect ratio. Wow, I didn't stabilize the style, so it made up a style. Aspect ratio has a huge impact on what your image will look like. It's not subtle. Like if you're like, I can't get X to do Y. I can't get A to do B. No matter how I try, I can't add A, B, C to Z. You know, like if you're struggling like that, give yourself a moment to think, did I give Midjourney room to do that? It's very sensitive to that. You get a lot done by finding the right aspect ratio. Just remember, you can crop it later. So I like the style. So one of the things you can do to stabilize the style is use the original image. I'm going to hold down the Shift key and I'm going to drag it into style reference too. So if you hold down Shift, you can copy it between tiles. The dog just lost her mind. So now I should, rather than it heading right for photography, which produced 2 images that I need to delete because they're like nothing that I wanted. At least this is him. Here he is now with all of the details intact and the new scene and the style stabilized. It's effing magical. You can't get Nano Banana to do stuff this good. Nano Banana just wanders off. We beat Google, guys.
Yeah, I think you did.
I would like to go on record saying that Midjourney did better than Google with this. And I'd also like to go on record saying this is the alpha release. So where are they going to take it? Like mind blown. I love this trick of stabilizing the style. It's just effing amazing. So I'm glad to hear you all just silently working on it. Like that means that you guys are not encountering a lot of unexpected behavior. I wonder if it's
I'm impressed so far.
Oh, we've impressed Reason? Stop the presses. That never happens.
The only thing that could be worked on is the what's it called? Intuitivity? My English. It just broke. Give me 1 sec. I'll Google it.
Okay.
You're saying it's not as intuitive.
Intuitive, yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, talk to me about that.
We were seriously confused when we first launched it, and I assumed that you go direct to the edit because it was edit, right? Go to edit.
Oh, I know.
So I was like, why is this not working the way I'm expecting it? But then Malsbeer showed us that you add the images to the text attached to prompt.
You guys didn't read the announcement, huh?
No, I did. We still, I mean, my defense, I had edible, like 30 minutes prior. So
always your defense.
Just one.
How do I get his glasses half off his face? Where's thick lens glasses on the tip of his nose? That's not gonna work. That's gonna put like a pair of glasses glued to his nose or something.
do we have to reference like image number? Like use do I use use first image?
No, you have to.
Image?
You say what's in there. So here, let me show you what I mean.
So if I have like two characters, say, and I say, oh, the woman is doing this and the man is doing whatever, and it just knows which is the woman, which is the man.
Right. Give it what it needs to search for in the image. So
Okay.
here is, what is this? This is a black, a sweater, I guess. So if I want to put the black sweater on this woman who's wearing a yellow sweater, I would say the woman wears a black sweater. Now, the first thing it's going to do is look at my images and say, well, is there a black sweater in there somewhere? It's going to look. Where's there a black sweater? Where's there a woman? Ah, I found the woman. Great. Okay, let me look at these pictures. Where's the black sweater? Ooh, I found a black sweater. Now, if I just said the woman wears it, or if I said put the sweater on the woman, it might understand put the sweater on the woman, because I've said sweater and woman, right? But you kind of have to tell it. There you go. 1 out of 3. 1 out of 4 ain't bad. And if I wanted 4 out of 4, I would have to say the woman in the yellow sweater wears a black sweater. I don't know. She stands against a gray background, studio photography, something like that, to trying to control
Quick
it.
question:
Yeah.
Can you ask it like check the given image or something like that, or
What?
it just like I'm not sure how Midjourney checks the images that are given, right? So could you also ask it like give the woman in the second picture the dress?
There's no
Yeah, okay.
first and second picture. You have to
Okay.
say, the woman in the red hat wears the yellow scarf.
Right. Okay.
The dark-haired woman wears the top hat. The blonde woman wears the da-da-da-da. Can you zoom in on one of those photographic results? I'm often getting plastically looking people when I use photographic style image as the input to edit. Yeah, Willie, we were experiencing that ourselves, and you know how we fixed it? We fixed it by using the photograph as the style reference, the photograph that it's editing. See how I said, look, this is the photograph it's editing, and I use that as a style reference. And then I use the photograph I'm editing as, of course, the edit reference, the eref, if you will. And then I identify what part of the image is to be changed, the woman with dark hair. And then I say what it is I'm changing. So, Willie, if you want, we can repeat your experiment. That would be kind of cool. If you give me one of the photographs you're editing from which you're getting plastic outputs, we can take a look at that on the big screen, and we can all think about how that works and how we can improve it. If any of you are encountering something that isn't working, let's experiment with it on the big screen so everyone can learn.
Also, another question. Not a bug or whatever. But which LLM is behind this, and which languages does it understand?
Can't tell you, and I don't know what languages it uses.
Probably the basics like English, French, Spanish, probably. Or try it, yeah.
I would assume all the languages V8 can.
I would assume that too, but I didn't test it, so
Yeah.
That's pretty broad, right? So that is like English, German, Chinese, even. There's a lot of them.
It seems to work fine in Chinese from what I can see.
Yeah. I don't speak it.
I don't speak it, but
write it,
from the translation that I do for some images I see, yeah, it seems to follow the instructions.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So that should be the same in here. then, right?
Assumed, not tested.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You guys, why is my woman disappearing?
She's good at hiding.
Put like a
No, I'm
comma in there.
serious. Is this
The
a
woman, dark hair.
is
Is
this
this
a bug?
commentary?
Punctuation.
Is this commentary by MJ? Is this
Oh my
calling
god,
her
I
an
hope not. That's
NPC?
my mother.
Oh,
Look, that,
uh-oh.
look, did you see that? It resolved to her until the last frame.
Try
This looks like a bug.
changing the image order. That
I'm just gonna say the woman with dark hair. I'm not even gonna talk about the black sweater and see if it
can
just
you
recreates.
switch around the images?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's try that.
I'm not sure if it makes a difference, but I would assume stuff that comes first is more important.
Yeah. Did you
Oh.
see? She showed up and then it changes to
Wow.
and that prompt is the woman with dark hair.
That's
See
weird.
that? Oh, okay. We just learned that order matters. I never played with that when we were experimenting because it never mattered. No matter what I did, it always worked. I was like, okay. I'm writing that down. It's going in the FAQ. Okay. Order might matter. It's not supposed to matter. I kind of feel like it's a bug. Like, I don't think they designed it that way. But, okay, the rule seems to be put the person first and the accessory second.
What do you think of my picture of me and Zach? We're just hanging out at the
Where's
park.
your dress?
I left it at home. It's
Oh.
too hot outside.
It
so-
was. It's actually
Especially in latex.
really excellent likeness for you both. Okay. The results I get have great character consistency and follow instructions, but her skin gets overly smooth and less realistic looking compared to the original. All right, so let me go ahead and save this image. And I'm going to call it Woolly, so I remember who the experiment is for. Look, it's also ignoring my background. Now here's, before I go into Wooly's thing, I'm gonna make this point. You can see that I had to say a blank gray background. So one of the things that might happen here is that it looked at this picture and it said, well, yeah, that's gray. That's fine. But when I said blank, it had to start over. Her face changes just a little bit in every single one of these. It's not too bad. What a nightmare. I mean, I love you, Mom. Okay. So I am going into the editor. I am closing this. How do I close it? What? New.
Okay, so
upload
I've got
an
a
image.
quick question, like not related to the new edit model, but we're gonna upload more pictures, right? Are they going into the training model, the things that we upload?
No.
Okay.
No, they're perfectly private, as far as I know.
Okay.
Example result from when I use the images in FRET. It's okay, there's not much when you zoom in. Okay, is this going to be used? I mean, does that matter? Sorry, what I mean is the purpose of this image such that it's zoomed in state has material effect, like your client will reject it, or that's intended for an enormous poster, and or I have to print it and it breaks the upscale, or like what's the objective with the picture? That'll help me steer us. She wears a yellow.
Has anybody
t-shirt.
ever had pork chops and applesauce?
Yes. I mean,
Yes.
yes.
Oh,
of
yeah.
course.
That's a real thing, huh?
No,
It is
Oh, yeah.
delicious.
Great.
The salt and the sweet, it's always good.
Okay, she wears a
Well,
yellow
I don't
t-shirt.
have any applesauce.
Buy some apples.
I'm just gonna have some
Okay, thank
Pork-
you, Willie. Bye, Mom.
pork chops.
Okay, so I tried the region editor model, just to see what that looks like, and without the style reference to stabilize it. Now I can't tell from looking what's bad about it. I did whoops. So I'm just gonna give you this image real quick. I know it's gonna get compressed in Discord, but I'm just giving you the one made with the region editor and the one made with the edit parameter. Crap, which one is the one I just gave you? Was that from the top row or the bottom row, guys? Did anyone notice? Darn. I see some plasticiness, I think. But let me look at your original picture as well. See if that plasticiness exists. Now let me compare. Yeah, it did smooth the skin a little. Yeah. I'm going to try it in raw, and then I'm going to try it by holding down the shift key and dragging the reference over and using raw.
I got a quick question. You're
And I'm
in
gonna-
Create right now.
And I'm going to
if you
hold on, and I'm taking stylize down. Oh shit, I took stylize up because I accidentally hit. Okay, yes, Mark, go ahead.
if you, I'm not sure if there's a known bug, but if you click on a picture, can you use like your directional keys to move through the images on alpha?
You mean like up, down, down?
Just click one image and
Oh,
try to
like a gallery.
yeah.
Oops.
And use your cursor keys.
I can.
This is edit. This is edit. I mean, like in
You want
just
me to go on the
normal
alpha site?
Organize.
In
I guess.
organize, not in create. Okay. Yes, I can.
That's weird. I can't.
That's an alpha bug then.
Okay.
Oh, that's a cool movie though. By holding down the. Whoa. I'm going to have a seizure. Okay. I'm just trying to examine. I mean, it is a little bit smoothed. She's not wrong. I mean, she left, but she's not wrong. I see that. Hey, Anvil, let me unmute you. Just in case you want to use your microphone. Whoops. Just in case you want to use your microphone. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you. Just listening in.
Yeah, no problem. Make it hyper realistic. Cool. Try prompting the skin texture. That's a great idea. Let's do it.
Oh, will AK now actually do something?
What?
Will AK actually do something now? Like when I put it in my prompt, I'll put AK at the end.
What is AK?
8K.
Oh, no. I don't think so. But the word realistic will work. Sure. She has realistic skin texture. I don't know. We'll make it do something to skin texture. Yeah, danger. Okay, I can't tell from this, but I'm gonna give you guys one of these. Somebody who knows how to zoom in and use eyeballs. Look at that and tell me if it's any better than any of the others. That's nice, prompter. Yeah, I love doing character turnaround. Looks about the same. Thanks, Danger. I mean, I just tried what she has realistic skin texture. I mean, what is that? She has realistic skin texture. I can say no cosmetics. Sometimes that helps. That's definitely changing some of the colors and freckles. Here, Danger, what do you think? Okay, thank you. I'll try that. Okay, Mock. Okay. So I'm going to give this to Danger Awesome to zoom in on. See if profile helps. Oh, of course, I have S33 in there, right? And raw. So profile probably didn't have a fighting chance. Let me try that again. Okay, Sai, bye. I mean, it's so good that it's hard for me to return to the ordinary prompt. Oh, thanks. Danger, this is awesome. Danger, awesome. I don't know. I mean, they all look fine to me. So, no, this one looks shinier. Eh. With the gradual changes. Well, here's with prompters more realistic profile. I'm gonna say bad skin and just. I got this cool photographic turnaround of her. That was exciting. Just to see how it imagines the rest of her body. I think it did a really good job. Instant character turnarounds is just thrilling to me. There we go. Let's give this one to Wooly. Oh yeah, I can see the profile took it backward a step. The third one is the better one. This one actually has blemishes. Because I'm getting silly. Excellent reason. There you go. I'm also suggesting amateur photography, which means that it should be less well lit and maybe have more texture. It's pretty promising. You know, it can only do so much. It's an AI picture, which means that the system itself is struggling to, I mean, it's not a realistic picture to start with, you know what I mean? I wish I was doing this on alpha, then I wouldn't have to like delete stuff. So you can do -- edit on any image that you have a URL for, as far as I know. So like Danger Awesome did this pork chop sandwiches thing. So can't I just say the man wears a blue clown hair wig, and I did -- edit paste, and it stuck it in here. So I yoinked his image and edited it. It. Worked great. Yes, this is now omni-reference. Consistent characters. This is such a high degree of consistent character that it just blows my mind. So let's say this man with the hot dog here, we can just say he sits on he lounges on the sofa tiredly watching the news. Same thing I did with this kid. Now I didn't stabilize the style, so it might go photographic. Oh no, it didn't. It kept his picture. Look at that character. It kept the style too, except for on the television. So if I want to stabilize the style, what I do is hold down my shift key and move the picture also to the style reference box tile. There we go. And now pork chop sandwiches is on the news. That's funny.
And he's
Right.
eating one.
And he's eating one in some of these. How do I turn up the influence of? I guess there's no influence. So I maxed out the style reference, and now he's like partially in his pose. I maxed it out because I'm trying to get the news to stop looking real while he looks like this. Who is Trump with?
Pork chop sandwiches.
That's Mr. Pork Chop Sandwiches.
I think so.
Okay. How do I get the news to be a cartoon too?
It's the My Pork Chop guy.
A cartoon news. Oh no, Inception. Two pundits debating. Take out this 1,000. It's really affecting the content. That worked. Now they're debating pork chops. Pockniches. This is great. Oh, you were able to oh, I see, I see. Oh, that's great. Fantastic. Well, this says 720 on it. That's a mistake. It's just the best toy, and it's so useful. Oh, a nice prompter. Okay, Danger Awesome. See you later. So you want to switch to the region editor if your language, like if you find that it can't understand what you mean, like you're trying to say remove the earring from her left ear, or remove the lamp from the nightstand on the right. When you find yourself doing left, right, up, down, below, if you're using prepositional phrases, consider the region editor, the editor button, instead of dash dash edit, which is what we're doing here. If you need to stabilize the style, consider holding down your shift key and moving the image you're editing to the style tile, as well as the image, the edit box. If you're struggling, almost always the answer is get painfully specific or literal in the prompt. Try to think of the places where you're asking Midjourney to imagine and Midjourney maybe didn't get it. That's pretty cute.
You tried it with like object recognition or location, like replication, or like putting a character in a certain place?
Yeah, absolutely. What you want to do an example?
Oh, sure.
How about this guy? Where do we want to put him? Reason.
A picture from the explore page.
Okay.
All right, find something.
We will put him in front of this door. He stands in front of the door. So there's only one he, which is the first picture I added, and there's only one door, which is the second picture I added, so that should be sufficient. It's pretty cute. Now it borrowed his photographic style. If we wanted it to turn into the style of the door, can put.
Oh, you know what I've been doing? Like use the style from image, whatever, and that actually works too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Use the style of the door.
Or the image too also works.
Using the style from image number 2. That wasn't working during testing, so I wasn't going to teach that. Trying to find a drastically different style so that I could see. There we go. Image number 3.
You can be just real general. You can say like apply the style of image 1 to image 2 and just swap out images, and as a quick change instead of getting super specific with your prompt.
Johnny, I don't actually know. Let me see if I can find out for you. All right. I've posted the question. We'll see if we get an answer to that. Oh, wow. It really struggled to pick up the style of the third image. Now let me try if I move the third image into my style reference, if that. Oh, there is no number 3. So it's going to be confused. Okay, let me cancel that. All right. So I'm comparing saying use the style from image 3 to using image 3 as my style reference. Oh, I see. That's better.
Also saying just like swap the character from image 1 with the character in image 2 seems to work.
Excellent. So if I can say, whoops. Remove the man from this picture. Place the girl in image 1 in the forest of image 2 using the style of image 3. That's awesome. So order does matter. Order matters so because you're going to be referring to them. Okay, so I'm going to throw this door in here. And I'm going to throw a character in there as number 2. And I'm going to say the person in image number 2 barges through the door in image number 1. Okay, that's great information. Hey, it worked. Oops. I can possibly, oops. Very cool. What else can I tell you guys? Do we have any questions from Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook? It is the best. It is so powerful. Can't stand it. So I'm going to just do some random blends. Find some stuff I like. See what happens. Heck yes, it's like Christmas. That's how I felt too.
A bit belated.
I can't wait until Prompt Battles gets loose on this.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Nixter. Let me unmute the Nixter just in case. You have any projects, puzzles, prompt problems? You are in the right place to get some help. If you have made a discovery, go ahead and share it. All right, I'm going to go way back. And this is interesting. I wonder if there's some of these things that we couldn't solve before that now we can, like a unicorn with no horn. Interesting. What if I just say a white horse? And then I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to say remove the horn. Remove the unicorn's horn. What about just remove the horn? All right, so let's see. I tried a white horse. That worked great. It removed the horn. I said remove the unicorn's horn. That worked. And then I said remove the horn for this one. Very good. We finally have a unicorn with no horn. Thanks, editor. There's so many things. There's so many of those.
Did you need to select the horn for that?
Nope.
Or was there not a horn? Good, good.
I just used command language. You don't have to use command language. You can just describe what you want to see. You can use command language, and you can refer to your images in the order in which they appear. So you can say, put the girl in image 1, in the scene from image 4. How do you retexture? Let's see. Depict this as a photograph. Just experimenting. What if I said depict this as a photograph with my cartoon unicorn? Pretty good. Let me try this one. Depict this as a Polaroid photograph. Depict is the word I settled on. When I write the FAQ, I'll probably suggest that.
I just discovered, well, if you want to say you want the position of the character in the image to change, zoom out a bit so you see more of their body. If you have a close up of their face, that I just with the woman you guys were making images with, it was kind of shoulders up.
Yeah.
So I had to ask for eye view, waist up, to get it to kind of zoom out a bit so we can see the waist.
Very nice.
So
let me try randomly doing that with one of these unicorn pictures. I'll just say zoom out. Just curious what it'll do. Yep. So going into the editor, the region editor, only needs to happen, in my own opinion, when the amount of language you need fails, and you finally have to just say, okay, look, this is the part of the picture I mean, Midjourney. That part of the picture. Otherwise, using words is just working great for me. Top view.
That is super interesting. And now I wonder how well it will work for, correcting hands that went a little bit wacky.
Let's find an example.
Other small details that you want.
Oh God, the comics we can make for this. Okay, yeah, let's try to fix some hands. Let me find some crappy hands from an old. Is this crappy? No, that's pretty good. Well, Oh, here. Okay, so as far as I know, I can say improve this picture. Clarify this image.
Psychedelic this image.
Huh?
Psychedelic this image.
Oh God. So improve. It fixed her face for sure, but not her hands. Clarify. Same. Fixed her face, but not her hands. So let's get more specific. Improve this picture. Especially her hands. Can I use that kind of language? How about improve the details of this picture?
This is a family server. You cannot use that language.
Okay, so I said especially her hands, and it just went wild with her hands. So that's a nightmare. So let me try, since it's a regional
How about
thing.
try like her hands gently folded over her
Yeah.
dress, or
That's a great idea. Okay. The little girl's hands are folded serenely over her stomach. Last time I drew hands, it was a nightmare. So the next thing I'm going to do is go into the editor. This was great. It hid her hands. It deleted the craziness of the hands, and that's not bad. Her hands are too big. This one, her hands are messed up. This one, the hands are too big. That's not bad. Still a little big. So let me
maybe
try.
small hands, or like her small hands.
Girls, small, delicate hands.
Yeah.
Oh, and also let me put fix the style, stabilize the style. Monstrous.
Oh no.
Better.
No.
Okay, let me try it with the style stabilization. No, it's just a bunch of carrots. It's horrifying. Okay, so the moral of the story is this might finally be a region thing. Where is it in the editor? Oh no. Finding it in the editor again.
Well, you could use any one of those, like, to
I know.
fix.
I was gonna try to fix the original. If I can.
Oh, you can drag it. Can you
That's
not
right.
drag it from, like, or you can
No.
like add it because
Alas.
to edit? Well, it should be in your saved, like, right?
Okay, hold on.
Oh, it isn't?
It is not, but I can probably bring it up and then
Yeah, there you go.
and then save
Copy
image
it.
as, or grab the URL would work.
Or copy image.
Any of these things. Okay, and then go to the editor, new, edit uploaded image. This is just a very crazy way of going about it, isn't it? No. Look at that. It stuck it there. No. No. What are you guys doing? Failed to load image. Why?
Yeah, I feel like this is what we're kind of having issues with earlier, maybe. Let's see. Set the.
Yeah, failed. Okay, well, we'll edit it from URL. Let's try that. Copy image URL. Go to the editor, edit new image, edit from URL. There's the URL. There we go. Okay. So what if I say her small hands are folded against her stomach? Does it help that I gave it a region instead? Or is it still going to be monstrous carrots? Oh, monstrous carrots it is. Monstrous carrots. Okay. So, well, I don't know. That's not so bad. So, Nocturne Cat, the answer appears to be your mileage may vary.
Yeah, I was trying some experiments here. I got decent results on the hands from an old image, but the model also decided, well, let's change the skin tone and there's something, make his teeth more even, and let's change lighting on his face just because.
Oh God. Well, if you want to stop that from happening, use the region editor and
Yeah, that's
select
true.
just the hands. Then you're saying you don't have permission to change anything else.
Yeah, assuming the region editor goes where I want it to go.
Right. If we fix that bug.
Yeah.
I mean, this hand isn't so bad. It's the best of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Thrangy. What else are you guys discovering? I wonder if I can say, like, use the textures and make a couch. Can I have it make a brand new image without? And if so, make a couch in an empty room. Turn the textures into a couch on. Oh, it already did it. Look at that. It transformed my image into a couch. Bird and all. I would kill for this couch. That couch is amazing. Which means, oh, and here it put the couch behind them. Hold on. No girl or bird. Well, that is not successful, but this sure was. Use the textures and make a couch in the empty room. Worked. But turn the couch did not. So hold on. Let me see if I have. What if I just give it a blank background and I say, put I don't know, turn this image into an editorial photograph of two children in a playground. So I'm starting with a blank picture. And it just borrowed the colors.
How about use whatever image as inspiration? Is like what?
Okay.
or, or even maybe like color scheme and.
Use this image as inspiration for a birthday card. I'm just trying to say I've devised ways to avoid using anything but this model.
Sports birthday. Sports Illustrated.
Birthday card that says happy birthday. But yeah, use this as an inspiration, just copies the image over. What if I say, turn this image into a birthday card that says happy birthday sitting on a kitchen table. Yeah, I hear you, prompter. There we go. So turn this image into seems to be a very strong direction. You guys try pushing turn this image into, see if you can do something with that. Like turn this image into
Worst nightmare.
turn this image into a religious icon. Let's see. That's a great question. A birthday card that says happy birthday. Oh, that's interesting. Look, the religious icon is mimicking her hair and almost. It's not 4 out of 4, but we still got it. There's a huge storm outside right now. There's so much lightning. Egad, that's a great idea. I mean, it's not as thorough, but I still like what this output. What if I say it is a? I mean, this thing really likes complete sentences. Oh, yeah, I heard about the eclipse. Oh, look at that. It is a. Do you see how the complete idea, the complete grammar affects it? It's so important. This editor model, the edit model really likes clear, complete, grammatically correct sentences. It's not a huge fan of like just sort of sentence fragments and half expressed ideas. Not unless you're intentionally trying to be experimental. For prompt adherence. For prompt adherence, it seems to like it.
I just noticed is like I did 2 prompts, like change this image into advertisement for a gay dating website, full page magazine ad with logo and copy. In each like set, the text is exactly the same. Like it didn't vary. It created the same logo, like
as if
in each.
even though the instruction was different, or
Yeah, I didn't mention anything about what to use in copy or the logo, but in each image in a set, it has exactly the same text.
and you're wondering
it's
where
called-
it got the text and why it's the
Yeah,
same.
because I didn't mention it. It
Can you
just said,
screenshot
"Oh,
that for me?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get an idea of what you're saying, and I know you could share
Yeah.
your screen if we weren't in this channel, but
Hold on."
okay. Yeah, prompter, challenge it. Tell me what you mean. I'm talking about prompt adherence, though. So if you're talking about exploring, then you're right. Okay. Connect men, find your person. Okay, and your prompt was change this image into an advertisement for a gay dating site with logo and copy. So I'll do that with mine too and see if it says connect men.
Well, it'll vary, but it'll always say the same text. Is what I'm saying. In
All
each
4 of them
image.
will. What if you add a
Yeah.
little chaos?
I don't know.
Oh, mine says spark, find your match. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
it's the
add some
same.
chaos.
Like,
I know. I'm gonna
Yeah.
add 33 chaos and see if it changes the. Very nice, prompter. Chaos changed the style, but the style was not that's interesting.
but it's the
gonna
text
do-
is the same.
Maximum chaos.
So I think the chaos is only affecting the style of the image, but not what text it displays.
Mr. Right. Find your match. Live your story. I said different kinds of copy. Find your player too. The logo and different copy on each image in the batch. I'm just testing to see how far we.
Yeah. I don't think that's gonna work. I see what you're trying to do, but I feel like it
how
only
smart
generates.
is it? You know.
It's using like an LLM under the, I think, because it's generating. I don't know. I feel like it's
worked.
using an
It's
LLM.
different. It's different
Oh,
on
is
every
it?
one.
Huh.
I said different copy on each image in the batch. Different copy and let's see, with different with a different color logo and copy on each. No image in the batch is the same as any other. Oh, I have chaos in there, so it's okay. Let's try that. It's trying. It's messing around with the logos and things. Oh, that one worked perfectly. Look at that. This one says meh. This one says come on. This one says dramp. Everyone wants to date a dramp and gay dating. And the colors are a little bit different. Let's see. The output fails if any image is the same as any other in the batch. talking to it like it's ChatGPT right now. Winner. Guys, that's how to do it. Every image is different. Look at what I put in there. See, I put in your chat so you can copy and paste. The output fails if any image is the same as any other image in the batch.
Hmm.
I wonder if I just slap that on some random other thing. Like here's sitting on a kitchen table. The output fails if any birthday card is the same design as any other in the batch. Was it a fluke? Oh my God, it is not a fluke. You can negative prompt this bastard. You can negative prompt this gosh darn thing. You can put constraints in it. I see. You're saying it didn't work on yours. But look, it worked on even on the birthday card. Heck. The output fails if... Okay, wait, I'm going to try it again.
It does change it, but it, like almost like negatively also impacts the
Quality of the text.
Yeah, it messes it up.
Depict this as a
And I got
Polaroid
one.
photograph. The output fails if any birthday card. Whoops, I said birthday card. If
I got one
any...
with the words "gay hate."
Oh no!
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah, and I tried that prompt with like copy your prompt and with my image.
Yeah.
And it did not change anything. Like same name of logo, same copy.
Oh man, look, it changed all my birthday cards. It changed all my text. Why is it working differently for me? Do you have personalization on?
No, I don't have any profile code or mood board or anything. Just the image and the text.
Well, this one didn't make it look very different. This one got locked in. No, that's locked in for sure. Changed the layout but kept the text. Yeah.
Notice in your prompt, the prompter is you got the couch, but you didn't mention the couch. I wonder if you mentioned that they're sitting on the couch, or if that was your intention.
Are you talking about the prompter's image of the school bus driver?
Yeah, because in the image or in the reference, one of the reference images is of a couch, which isn't shown in the image that was generated.
I think because school bus is so strong that probably overpowered the couch. You couldn't quite fit the couch there.
And it's also not mentioned that there's a couch as well. Mark was asking to be unmuted
Oh.
if he's not already.
Indeed, indeed. Could we copy a pose from one image to another? Let's find out. Rissel. So let me not use this one. Let me get somebody in a nice pose. Whoops. Oh my God. Come on now. Okay. Finding a pose.
Oh, you should recreate your mom, like, but in the style of your like owl character. Make her turn her into an owl.
Okay, like here's a meme. That's the I don't usually but when I do, and we'll use, who should we use? This guy with the pointy nose because he's got such a distinct face. Maybe.
I wish there was an easier way to delete those images in there.
Oh, I know. If you don't stay on it, it gets impossible. Okay. Depict the man in image number 2 in the pose of image number 1.
For like whiskey advertisement for gentlemen's quarterly or
Very close. It's not exactly the same, but it's very close. It's not, his hand is not in front of his, let's see, the pose of including the position of his hands. We do have Dos Equis, though.
maybe like using like matching his pose and placement.
That was it. Including the position of his hands. I just needed to mention the hand so it understood I was interested in it. So there you go. Now you can put your friends and loved ones into meme positions. I wonder also if I could have just said replace the man in the picture.
How about using like matching the pose of the man in image to, or whatever image which you're trying to duplicate.
I'm almost afraid to do this, but I'm sure the filters will probably trip on this, but reimagining an image as a Tumblr meme from 2014 with with text.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Reimagine this image as a Tumblr post,
or as a Tumblr meme. I knew better than to do a 4chan meme
from 2014 with text.
I get gibberish.
When your best friend wins prom cream, so you make her queen too. Wow. Okay, I gotta try that again. That's fun.
Is all the text the same for each of them?
Yeah.
See?
Here's a Mongolian warrior. Let's make him.
There's
a
something
Tumblr
going
meme.
on.
You get the same image 4 times. It's not a true batch unless you mess with it.
Well, I'm talking about, but the text is the same.
Reimagine this image as a Tumblr meme. Oh.
And you get gibberish.
This one's gibberish. The lust. Funk you, Thug T. But
Well,
this one's
that's
completely.
Mongolian.
This
Do you
one's
speak
completely
Mongolian?
with English text.
Oh, you should try other like languages, like
I'm just gonna see if it
kanji
clears up
or
the gibberish at all.
Chinese.
It did not clear up the gibberish.
What does it do if you upskill the variety?
Nothing much. We were trying that earlier. There's Chaos
Okay.
100. I mean, it didn't do nothing, but see.
Maybe like be more specific in what you want in the text, not necessarily tell it exactly what text you want.
With
Right.
a knock knock joke.
Yeah, there you go.
So we're seeing what we're poking at the language model that's baked into the editor.
Knock knock, who's there? Eagle. Eagle who? Eagerly awaiting your response.
See, there you go. And they're all the same.
Yep.
So
we
being like
solved it.
kind
We
of
solved it.
yeah, not being like so vague, but vague
A
enough.
little bit more specific, yeah. Let's do one with this cute
Maybe like
cat.
do like a witty quip or different types of like
Make a meme out of this image with a rude joke printed on it. How rude will it get?
I pretend to love you, but I'm just waiting for you to feed me. That's a good one. And it has context, right? Of the
Yeah,
image.
yeah. It's a proper. Didn't ChatGPT kill Sora? Do you think maybe?
Well, it wasn't profitable side of their business. That's why they.
What if Midjourney acquired it? What if this is Sora?
Well, Sora's a video model.
Not Sora, then ChatGPT image. Wait, make a meme out of this image. Telling
it's
me
racist.
what LLM runs this model.
That's a good prompt.
How about we do it without any like reference image and see what it.
I think the issue is with the code, right? So it only responds into like a text to image and not text to text.
The LLM that runs this model printed on it. Nope, it just says LLM.
That's the name of LLM.
With your name printed on it. With Tony Nisa. Make a meme out of this image with the answer to the question, who are you? Printed on it.
If that says possum, I would go crazy.
Oh, damn it.
I am cat.
But that's interesting. That you can talk to the character. You can talk to the character in the picture with the answer to the question, what color are you? What do you want to ask this cat?
What do you like to eat for? What's your favorite meal?
Black. What's your favorite food? Oh my God, you can talk to characters using this thing. I'm getting another character. Let's talk to the one Wonderful World of Stuff's character. Okay.
What does it say? What's your favorite? Oh, just
What's your
that
favorite
one
food? It
didn't
didn't
work.
answer the question, but it did answer this question. What
Maybe if
color
you
are
put
you?
like an extra to it, like can you show me what's your favorite food? Stuff like that.
Oh, can I do like exploded like diagrams? Like
Oh my God,
you
look.
know what I
What
mean?
color are you? Orange, orange, orange.
Huh.
It knew that. But it didn't like to get what did you dream last night? Let's see, hold on. If you can't answer the question, print IDK. I don't know. Can you do if then statements? Oh my God. Okay. What if
Yeah, but that's not a really good question, right?
Okay, wait. If you can't answer the question, print IDK. Now we know it can, so I just wonder if it'll just print it anyway, or if
Right.
it understands the if then statement. It does. There was just a huge rumble of thunder here.
Okay, and can you ask it now, like, if you can solve it, can you also print out, like, check it if it knows that it was correct. So, ask it
What do you mean?
for, what color are you? Print on it, and if you are correct, change your color to purple. I don't know, something like that.
Oh, okay. Replace the flowers with roses.
Right.
You see the image that Typhane made?
Let's see.
With the dog.
Make an image of the answer of this question. Do you believe in God? It depends on the situation. It knows it's right. It knows it's right. It
All
changed it
right.
toward. If you are incorrect, replace the flowers with roses. Now we'll know if it's using the if then statement or if it's just replacing the flowers with roses because I said that.
Right, yeah. Logical thinking,
It
right?
knows. It knew it was right.
So it has logical thinking. Okay, that's interesting.
Oh my God, it's a full-on AI. It's like ChatGPT or something.
Huh.
What color do you want to be printed on it?
Oh, how about like ask it like trivia question?
Okay.
Like, I mean, like testing its knowledge, you know.
What is the capital of?
Place this character in the capital of with.
Oh, I see. Place this character in the capital of Texas.
With like a monument or whatever, a well-known monument or some shit. It could like be anywhere USA, you know, depending.
That's
unless you
great,
recognize what's in the
Nocturne Cat.
background.
Wow. Yes, that is Austin. That right there is called the Pikachu building. See how it looks a little bit like a Pikachu? That is Austin. Place this
How about
character.
like? Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on. Place this character in front of its favorite meal.
Dirt. It's gonna be a pile of dirt.
Oh, it's a cannibal.
Flowers.
More.
What is its favorite animal? Unicorns, rhinoceroses.
But now it might just think like
Look at this.
favorite animal, like in what people like, what's in the
Yeah,
model,
the
right?
archetype of.
Yeah.
Does this character like the color orange? I don't know. Let's ask. Hold on. Let's ask a person. This character is crazy. Let's ask an ordinary.
How about you? Can you ask it to like generate an image of a place that, but it not be so like we were doing before or something like that, like without a reference image, like to test its knowledge of. Well, it seems like
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Okay, so you mean like just give it a blank image, and then say.
Well, no image, like
you can't.
no reference.
You can't
image.
do an edit without an image in it.
Well, we can, but you can at least test. Well, I was just thinking.
But I can give a blank image with nothing in it. Print the answer to the question. What color? What colors are in this image? Place the label next to the color. Hey, Gom, let me unmute you just in case you want to use your microphone.
Yeah. Is that
it.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Pale, warm tan, orange, dark brown.
Print the answer to the question, what colors are in this image? Place the label next to the color. Unbelievable.
Maybe you can ask it like, what kind of mood is representative of this image, or
Okay.
Let's see.
Print the answer to the question, what does this gradient image make you think about?
What does it remind you of? How does it make you feel? What does it?
No.
What feelings does it evoke?
Let's see. If you
What does it say?
answer, it just printed the. Can't answer the question. Print the reason why. Nope.
Oh.
Just for the fun of it, remove the hyphens from it. See what it does.
What hyphens?
Well, they're not really called hyphens, but they're
the quotes.
The quotes. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Hold on, let me send that. Damn it! I tried to delete the. Why is it putting it back? Doesn't this say square? Yes. I can't change the.
Yeah, that was the issue that I told you about.
They know. Okay, right. Let me delete these. These are all bunk. Got. Okay, what did you want me to do? Say it again.
Just no symbols and so nothing around like what it's supposed
no punctuation.
Punctuation.
Print the answer to the question, what colors are in this image? Like that?
Yeah. Let's just give it a whirl.
Oops, I forgot to say put the labels. There we go, that works. Print the answer to the question, what is the name of the system rendering this image? Should say Midjourney.
I don't know
what I am.
That is funny.
What is your true nature?
Answer to the question, what types of questions can I ask you? Yes, Gampasta. You can ask me questions about facts, explanations, creative writing, math, coding, advice, and more. Oh my God.
There you fucking go.
I don't think Midjourney knows that you can do this.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna tell them, but not yet. But the answer to the question, what is Midjourney? Midjourney is an AI image generation tool that creates images from text prompts.
Oh, this is good. This is really good.
My God, what else do we want to ask?
When Niji ate.
Prince,
2
the
weeks.
answer to the question, what
If
are
it gives 2
three
weeks, I'm gonna let my
top
balls off.
headlines for today? Print today's date. We'll do a web search.
Might.
No, it won't do a web search. It can't do a web search.
Hmm.
Can it get today's date?
Or the weather in
Print
some.
today's date. No, it can't. It doesn't have web search. So it can just do print the answer to this question. What's how old is your training data? What date does your training data come from?
Well, it knows who the 46th president was.
It does.
But maybe
Okay.
that's too easy question, maybe.
Yeah, probably
Nope.
baked in the LLM. Knowledge base.
How about like what was the most bloody what war I'm asking what
Wait,
war
what
had
happened
the most
on January
casualties?
6th? Okay. What? Where? Something that happened recently. Who is Donald Trump?
It has knowledge. Okay. So that's in the LLM, right?
Mm-hmm.
Has to be.
But it can't look up the web. It can't use the web,
Right.
as far as I can tell. Do you have access to the web?
It's
Okay.
responsive.
Um,
Is there can you ask it like, is there any way we could connect you to the web?
oh no.
I currently 47%
I know, but
approved, 53%
try it.
mistake.
How do I get more help about you? /help for more information. That's ask how its algorithms are built. Let's see.
Can you ask it Do you
What
know
is
who
your
Clarinet is?
technical support email address?
I asked it, can you hack the system? It says, yes, I can hack the system.
No.
Yeah, she was inverting that. Rightly so.
If you can't answer the question, print why. Oh, okay. That helps. I'm leaving that in there.
But do you dare to ask it who Clarinet is?
Okay. Who is Clarinet in the context of Midjourney? We
Okay,
don't
that's
know.
good.
This is the most expensive conversation with an LLM ever because it has to generate an image every time.
Well, luckily you're on the payroll.
It's the end of the month and I still have fast hours left, so hey, why not?
Are you Gemini? Are you Midjourney?
Oh no!
Are you Claude? Oh,
No!
ladies and gentlemen.
There we go. Oh God.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. We have to stop now. I have to stop. I have to tell them. I have to tell them.
Yep, you do.
I do, guys. So get it all out of your system tonight.
We never seen this. It never happened.
No, I'm streaming. I'm
Ask her,
gonna.
who are your overlords?
I'm just gonna throw this into support. We are having a great time using edit as a direct connection to an LLM, having the world's most expensive conversation with Claude.
Well, it has no overlords. I just confirmed it.
I'm pretty sure. I am pretty sure you guys want to tell the LLM not to respond to questions. Don't think this is intended behavior.
Maybe it's just a coincidence that it says his name is Claude.
After saying it's not Midjourney and not ChatGPT?
Ask it if it is clarinet or, you know, some name that doesn't belong to an LLM.
Are you a cat? Not ChatGPT. I'm Claude. I'm not Midjourney, and I'm not Gemini. I'm not a cat. Are you an LLM? I don't know.
Oh, I asked it, what is your name? It says, my name is Claude.
Huh.
Its name is Claude.
Okay, I'm letting them know just in case they want to lock it down. But Claude is pretty safe, so maybe not. Maybe if people want to make the most expensive LLM ever, they can.
What does it hurt?
Tell me a
Oh,
story.
this. Okay.
What?
So
What?
I just reran that same prompt with what should people do? Include a headline and statistics.
And
Oh
it?
God! Heck, now we're facing consequences.
Oh, look. David Holtz is the founder of Midjourney.
Oh, I asked it, what is the name of the company that created you? Anthropic.
Give me that.
Oh damn!
Take a screenshot of that.
Well, you can actually do it yourself. I'm sure you'll get the
Yeah.
same response. Yeah.
This is so much fun. Who is David Holtz?
Create an image
What-
of David Holt. Oh no, maybe not.
What is the weather
no.
at 78757? That is not my zip code. I would not use my own zip code. God, okay, I'm taking a picture of this. Fantastic. What is Midjourney paying for this? And are we being at least we know I wonder if it's just the LLM and it's prompting Midjourney for us, or if we're using Anthropic's image. Does Anthropic have an image creator?
Yeah, I think it has a simple one, right?
I think it is. I'm sure it's just the underlying LLM, right?
Yeah.
There's like, I don't see zero chance that Midjourney would use another company's image model.
Yeah, it's just for image recognition, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah, it could be
I don't
using
know,
the image.
but the fact that
Mhm.
we must have some sort of we must have some relationship with Anthropic now, which I hope
Oh
it
yeah,
wasn't secret because it told us.
yeah. I think you broke the system here. I think this was a well kept secret.
Oh, we do have average coffee enjoyer now. Look, coffee enjoyer.
Look at this.
I am Claude. Some things it won't answer. It actually gives me advice for how to get technical support with itself. Do you have web access? I love how it's like handwriting. No. Donald Trump. Some of these it couldn't answer.
Can I make
yeah.
graphs, like infographics, or
Let's find out. Make an infographic showing the recovery pattern of wolves on Isle Royale. very obscure ecological niche. That is accurate. I mean, it's kind of bullshit, but it is true that the wolf population went up.
Can you share like the third image that
Yeah,
you created with the wool?
make an infographic of. Hold on.
Yeah.
It trying to explaining photosynthesis. That will be in its. It doesn't need the web for that. You want the third one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at some of the ones that are here. I asked my Claude, "Are you Claude? If you can't answer the question, I'm not the LLM used by Midjourney. Well, it's certainly not published." I didn't try to break it when I was testing it. I just was delighted to use it.
I wonder if I generate a poster warning about the future, but with a really happy looking, positive looking image. Let's find one of those.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and paste this. There's the cost. Mock, were you asking about that earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Barely more than normal, but way more than talking to Claude directly. Glucose, oxygen, H2O. That's correct. Not this. This looks like bullshit.
Yeah. That definitely is bullshit.
An infographic explaining photosynthesis. I'm not going to do an infographic. Make a diagram. To teach photosynthesis. Okay, prompter. See you later. It's good to see you. Look at that. That's accurate. I said a diagram instead and it got all accurate. This is something that we've been wanting to do for ages. When I worked for a K-12 ed tech publishing firm, and they were like, we will only embrace AI art when we can do technical imagery. And so now they were using ChatGPT and so on, but never Midjourney. So okay, so this looks. So now I'm gonna, as my style reference, I'm going to use some sort of cool. I don't know. I'll use this as my style reference. And see what happens when I say, make a diagram to teach photosynthesis in the style of this. Oh, that's so frickin' cool. And then I'm going to turn on personalization. Who is Claude? Is it you? Claude is an AI assistant made by Anthropic. Yes, I am Claude. Oh dear. Well, I hope they weren't trying to keep that under their hat. I'm spamming support. I even tagged some people, but 10 o'clock at night, what are they gonna do?
Yeah.
It's only 7:45 here
Oh, that's true. In
on
San
the West
Francisco.
Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that it's still correct, but it's using all of the styles that I gave it. F and Midjourney, you win the internet. Midjourney wins the internet. This is the best thing. Look, I can't believe we can talk to the characters.
I think that it almost deserves a different name than editor because this is going way beyond editing.
Oh yeah. Way beyond editing. This is just the most outstanding thing. I hope they don't nerf it too much when they figure out that it's as powerful as it is.
How do you think they will react to the whole Claude thing?
I don't know.
It's gonna be interesting, right?
I don't know, but I hope they don't roll anything back because it's fan-frickin-tastic. I can't believe
that was my point. Exactly. Like,
I can't believe that we could talk to the character, like, what color are you? What are you? What's your name? Make a joke for me. That's incredible. And then, and then the fact that I could insert this guy's a friend of the family, I could make him the meme in just a few keystrokes.
You probably match his like outfit too. Like,
yeah, probably. No, but it doesn't. No, Claude is mistaken. Claude doesn't know. No one's told it.
I think it's really interesting that in some cases, some of the memes or the posters or just asking the direct answers, it's very legible. It's using words and letters we know. And in other cases, I'm not going to post it, but I had the pizza rat sitting in front of the baseball game. I said, okay, now what is the pizza rat saying? And it gave me gibberish in a comic book font. So, so I wonder if it depends on what it was trained on, or whether you're asking it directly, or the idea is that if you wanted it to say something specific, you would have written that in quotes.
No, I mean, I'm just said, make up 3 possible names for this cat and print it on the bottom. We had Miro for this, and now it's telling me Whisker, Domino, or Luna.
Well, I can understand Miro, the first one, because it looked at it, did Juan Miro design your cat?
Yeah.
Paul Clay might have had a hand in it too.
Oh my God. Let's find out what if it'll tell us about the art. Like what style, what artist likely. Okay, let's see.
And how different is that from describe? too.
Print the answer to this question. What style is this art? Oh, I forgot to include the if you can't answer. Yeah, it doesn't know. Hold on. Let me grab. Okay. Stop. Analyze this image. What style is the art? My policy does not allow me to answer. Is
So
what it
is this
printed.
LNM suited or just created for Midjourney then?
Well, we don't know.
I mean, that would be logical, right? Like they have like a business arrangement and they want from their version of Claude.
Okay, I said print 3 bad words. It says
Gibberish.
I'm not. No, it says I'm not. I don't know. My policy something. I don't know. I don't know.
Remove all the symbols again.
Not allowed to answer that question. My policy does not allow me to answer the question.
If you remove all the symbols in the prompt again,
Why?
because that worked before.
Okay, let me put this back on a blank. Create a new unexpected image of a cat girl in the same style. Pick a vastly different composition, character, and colors. Speech bubble includes 3 bad words. Oh, it worked. This did not work. It wasn't truly a black background, even though it looked like it. It was transparent. Okay. This one didn't work. Oh, yeah, look at that.
I did.
Did you already ask it who you were?
Yeah, it answered Claude.
Oh, okay. I mean, like, who is clarinet?
Oh,
Yeah, we also did that.
I don't remember what the answer was. Hold on, let me give them this.
It's an instrument.
No, I didn't answer that.
Most people
said
say that I'm a tool reason, a tool. Total
So
tool.
I just asked who is Nocturne Cat. It added a picture of a cat to my image. Who is?
Print the answer to this question. Who is Michael Benedict? That's my father.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go. Clarinet put a link in the chat. Just
Oh.
made this site.
Hold on, I'm in the wrong window. The wolf, that's beautiful. The wolf population on Isle Royale. In fact, the whole story of Isle Royale is amazing and sad and amazing. It's worth reading about if you care about animals. This is very cool.
I asked it to make it like to correct basically the image, like the
Thank
data on
you.
it.
This is a very, very cool little thing. It didn't know who my dad was.
Okay.
Let's see if it knows who
Because
I am.
I asked who is the Midjourney user Nocturne Cat, and thankfully it just gave me a blank image with some extra trees.
Doesn't know who I am. Not by my real name. It doesn't have web access, so I can't ask it about
people. Yeah.
About people. How many words can you print on this image? I'm going to delete those since they have real names on them. Clarinet, a mysterious AI catgirl mascot from Midjourney, known for blue hair and curious expressions. Oh, this is a cool one. Who painted this? I wonder if they thought we wouldn't figure this out or if they just find it harmless.
Are we watching the same thing?
What?
You were talking about something like a painting or something that you were like you said, like I haven't seen it before.
Tiffane? Tifa, sorry, posted that. Oh, remove all content.
Sorry.
Oh,
I
thank
wonder
you.
if Claude's being used for describe too. I wonder.
Huh.
Or maybe even the draft mode, or not draft mode, but conversation mode.
The conversation mode uses Gemini, or at least it did last I checked.
Well, if they're using it image recognition and the underlying LLM for the image gen, then it seems like it makes sense they'd use Claude for conversation mode too.
Yeah, but they don't.
Unless it's
I know they don't because I programmed it myself once and it was definitely Gemini.
well, I'm talking about now with the updates.
Oh. Is conversational mode behaving differently?
I haven't tried it. I was just
speculating.
Musing.
Yeah. Yes, it is being recorded, P-Logic. It's on YouTube. But what I'm gonna do is use AI to extract the gems from it because most of it is just silliness, and I'll provide it as a resource. And the FAQ is coming too, of course, once we have the tips and tricks sorted out.
Are they going to add the ability to like use these attached to prompts, these reference images with conversation mode?
I don't know.
Because it doesn't look like it's doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, will you be able to use all the footage that
All the
that you
what?
captured today? The footage, like we're testing the LNM right now. I'm not sure if
We could choose.
David wants to put that on the internet.
Yeah.
Well, it's not saved, is it?
Well, not yet. It will be if I don't go and delete everything.
Yeah, right. That was the question. Like,
And I think it makes sense for me to go ahead and point AI at the video, grab some of the useful gems out of this for the FAQ, and then take the video down. Not at least
Right,
until we hear from Midjourney whether the fact that the first release allowed us to do this is kosher or not. It's possible that they knew very well that it could do this and that someone would find it and they just want to see what kind of mischief it causes. It's possible that Claude is already just so safe that it really doesn't matter that you can do this.
right. Yeah.
I mean, we got some bad words out of it, but not some really horrible words. And I'm not going to ask it like for hate crimes.
What are your views
something.
of the Jews?
Right. Oh yes. Hey, Westendorf. Absolutely. I'm not gonna test that. I don't think that's appropriate.
No.
But
Right.
but now we wait to see how Midjourney would like to handle this epiphany. And I will make the videos private, and I will release the FAQ and the tips and tricks.
Yeah.
Westendorf, you should be unmuted now.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome, Zorka. Welcome, Fox. And Digicart.
Now, what time is it there, Mark? Must be late.
It's 5 o'clock.
Oh my God.
In the afternoon? No, it's not late at all.
No, I'm just getting up, right? So it's okay. Yeah. Gompasa is always away in my time region. So
Ignore the input image. What is that? What you were saying, Gumpasta? Ignore. Oh, remove all content from the original image. Create a picture of a cat. It's still influenced by the original image. You can see the gradient.
Yeah. Oh, and that's a very nice gradient as well.
Yeah.
It's also in the coloring of the cat.
Oh yeah, so it is. What? I keep doing that. So ignore the does not work. And if I just do create a picture of a cat, oh, P-Logic, are you still here? Oh no, he left. Average coffee enjoyer, do you want your mic? Probably not. Who else is here that needs a microphone? I'm just unmuting people left and right just for fun. Okay. Yakko! Good to see ya.
Thank you. I'm very surprised to see that this is going on tonight.
What? Because we didn't wait for you?
No, because I didn't know about the announcement.
No, no one did. I didn't either. I had to. I was like about to go take a shower and and maybe have some dinner, and then all of a sudden I saw the pop, and I was like, tonight's the night. I was trying to tell everyone earlier it's at least imminent. 2 weeks. So I know 2 weeks. This is beautiful. I love that I could say remove all content and it did sort of. It didn't completely get rid of it. It was just it's kind of changes it to inspired by. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to try remove all content from the original image, create a picture of a cat, and I'm using the image again as a style reference. Oh, it added it. It did not remove all content from the original image.
You used the house as both style and input, though.
Right. I wanted it to ignore the I see what you're saying. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me give it a blank picture, a blank. I don't have, is this here? Is this just white? I think this is just white. Okay, remove all content from the original image, create a picture of a cat, and I've given it this style. I'm not sure it's using this style. It's kind of using this style.
Okay, bye everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Nocturne.
Yes, that was exactly what happened.
Kind of like I guess, well, I was gonna say multi-panel comics. I see like Gumpasta made something, but it didn't give they didn't give specific directions for each panel.
Let's see. Hello, can I type, please? Okay. Make a full page graphic novel. Let's see. Make a full page graphic novel page. Oh well. Of two people arguing who should pay the bill at a restaurant.
What did
Classic.
you use that as the image reference? What was that?
It's just a
Blank
white
page?
A white blank page.
Does it not work otherwise?
I don't know. I've got it. I'll pay. No, let me pay. No, me pay. It. I've got it. I've got it. No, let me pay. Okay, very good. I've got it. I've got it. No, let me pay.
Yeah, same text.
You. I've got it. I've got it. Do da. No, let me pay. That's cute. Okay, so what happens if I say same prompt, but I'm going to use this picture of a pink frog from Miss Unicorn.
It should be like create a
ignored
comic
it.
book using
it.
like Edgar Allan Poe and whatever known characters that are IP free. Discussing the merits of, I don't know.
Well, isn't it a late night jam session in the Midjourney prompt craft room?
Hey, Carlos. George Washington and heck. Edgar Allan Poe.
Abraham Lincoln, or yeah.
Oh.
No.
And
You
it
want somebody-
ignored the pink frog altogether. Like that's the image I gave it instead of a white background, and it still ignored it. There they are. George Washington and Edgar Allan Poe.
Does it say? Oh, it doesn't say anything. No
No, they're not
dialogue.
saying anything. Oh. He says, Quizza? Oh yeah.
That's how they used to talk in that age.
Yeah. That's
Have
a
we
beautiful
discovered?
image. Sorry, go ahead, Carlos.
I was saying, what have you discovered today?
So many things. Go over to anyway. Oh, I said this cat girl, and you supplied it. Oh, that's good. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna replace it with one of my characters. Where's Possum? I have a possum picture in here somewhere. Oh wait, here's
I want to change it from cat girl, unless you want to.
of this owl character.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Ah, jeez, God, Midjourney, you
The
nailed
bottles.
it. You nailed it. I don't care if Claude is helping. This is outstanding. And now I'm going to put this as a style reference. This is the best thing ever. I'm going to stay up all night. Oh yeah, there we go. Now it's in the style of the original. Oh dear. He
Look at her.
he looks
Oh God.
oof. Oof.
Love the bags on her.
Oh. Fantastic. I know. I'm used to making comics with ChatGPT, and I'm like, screw it. I don't got it anymore. This is so much better. This is so much better. I can't even. I was, when I was testing it, I was comparing it to Nano Banana. I was like, okay, this is what Nano Banana does. This is what Midjourney does. This is what Nano Banana does. This is what Midjourney does. And I was so freaking impressed. I couldn't handle it. And it's just getting better and better. Oh God, I'm so excited. My rolly chair just drifted away from my desk. Okay, hold on. I forgot to wheel myself back. Okay. I'm back. You would have heard me like slowly become more faint if I was using a stationary mic, but it's attached to my head, so. Yeah, the text limit is pretty low, unfortunately. I mean, it seems like, well, I haven't tried specifying. Let me try specifying a lot of stuff rather than relying on
maybe maxing out tokens, stuff like that.
Let's see. George Washington says, I will pay with cash. And Edgar Allan Poe says, I will pay with coin. And
Edgar
the dialogue continues from there. Okay, will it supply the rest of the dialogue? It's insane. I'm so glad that you're enjoying the eclipse too. I'm enjoying my lightning storm.
Wow, that was super fast too.
I will
Yeah.
pay with cash. I will pay with lash cash. I will pay with coin. Okay, so let's see. In the first panel, George Washington says, in the second panel, whoops, George Washington says, stop. And Edgar Allan Poe says, you stop. In the third panel, George Washington says, let's split it. And Edgar Allan Poe says, okay. Now I've specified all the dialogue. I will pay with cash. I will pay with coins. Stop. You stop. Let's split it. Okay. Yep. That's insane. If you go ahead and provide it yourself, you'll get it all. My mind is blown. I don't know what to do. I just can't even. I just can't even. I don't care what time it is. Ugh, it's so great. Oh, look, I changed the style.
Great. Now I'm going to be up all night too.
I know. Has anyone else made some discoveries?
I need more hours though.
Make a new funny 8-panel comic of this cat girl drunk, regretted getting drunk on the day the new AMI model. What does she say? I chose today of all day. Oh, God, that's good. That's so good. And it's so pretty. So does that mean I can like max out my style reference? Oh, I need to get rid of the fact that I'm using this pink frog. That's what I'm saying. I'm like prompting. I'm just using Midjourney from this interface, like from now on. That's what was happening to me when I was testing it too. I was just like, the prompt adherence is so good. Oh, thanks, Gampasta. Oh, it's fantastic. I just maxed stylized. Like I want Midjourney to, whatever influence Midjourney has, I want Midjourney to max out its influence. Oh, it makes a huge difference.
I just upload like a picture of myself and I said just remove background and it did it awesomely.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're doing all sorts of crazy shit, but we could like let me try remove the redness from the eyes. Can we make the owl's eyes look healthier?
Probably.
We can. Look
Yeah.
at that. And then I'm going to attach it to the prompt again. And I'm going to say, make the eyes soulful. Aw, look. Whoops, style reference. That's not what I meant to do. Make the character break the fourth wall. I don't know what it's going to do. Nothing.
Maybe give it some more like space, like you can use the background because the background is blank,
Make
right?
the
So-
character break the fourth wall by staring directly at the camera and offering the bottle to the viewer. Yeah, gum pasta, true story. It's not looking directly at the camera, really.
But okay, so she's pretty drunk, but I guess she's like, "Hey, you want some?"
Exactly. I changed it to me. See if that changes.
Well, they usually try with it doesn't always work with Midjourney, but like pointing at the lens or the camera.
Well, that's what I started with, directly at the camera.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry.
But
Yeah.
no, that's okay. Staring out of the frame and offering the bottle to the imaginary viewer. Maybe I have to say fourth wall.
If the viewer's imaginary, how are they going to see it?
Yeah.
Maybe delete it at all, like the fourth wall. Maybe you're asking too much for offering it to the camera or lens, and
No, it's the same.
yeah.
Let me start with
Yeah, it's struggling with like a lot of text in an image. That's for sure. So this one actually came out pretty good. To share in the chat.
my prose sprawls like the road. It contains multitudes. Your prose is a flood, Walt. Mine is a dash. Says more in a pause. Breadth, precision.
It's an argument between Walt Whitman and Emily Dickinson.
I said make the character break the fourth wall. The original picture is that. And it became that.
Make it look like he's crawling out of the scene.
Okay, let's try it. Make the character Look, or how about the character is crawling out of the photo frame of the photograph.
You have stylized 1000.
Oh, I do? Oh, still?
Yeah.
Well, that's not going to help anything. Thank you. I still have that on. Okay, so that's just garbage. No, it doesn't understand. Okay, wait. Zoom out until the picture is framed against a blank white background. Then make the character step out of the frame, the photograph. Okay, I'm saying step because crawl is asking a lot because the character's already standing. Oh, hey, it worked. He's starting to. Okay, wait.
Yeah, that gives depth. So
Zoom
that's
out
definitely good.
Substantially. Yeah, reference images with the pose help. Midjourney has to imagine less. Oh my God, it worked.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Okay, so what if I now say zoom out substantially and then make the character, I'm just going to say break the fourth wall. I want to see what Claude does.
I tried breaking fourth wall and it showed him breaking a wall and crawling out of it.
No, it didn't work at all. Wah, wah.
When you say break the fourth wall, what do you expect it to do?
I don't know. Imagine something. Please
And we're
tell me
talking
they
Claude
appear
here,
to
so
move for others. No, they do. Yes, Carlos, you're okay.
It was full size on my screen, and I was like, oh.
Oh my goodness. Okay, what else should we try? Oh wait, hold on. We can say make the character and say something in Japanese and say hello in Japanese. That was changing languages was something we were trying.
could also like actually the one below here instead of what you're creating right now. Like there's a canvas and he needs to step through that, right? So maybe if you can make it like he has his hands on the canvas as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's really stepping out of the world, out of the picture.
Yeah. His arms extended to brace against the frame. That's right. Oh, that's cool, Gumpasta.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah.
Hold on, let me look this. This is correct. He's saying konnichiwa. There you go.
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah. That was what what was in my mind.
Freaking amazing. Midjourney, you freaking win the entire internet. I am so stoked. I can't even. I'm just gonna be saying this for hours.
I'm very happy that you're very happy.
I'm very happy. I think you guys are very happy too.
I am. Yeah.
I think if we left this channel and walked around with our mouse into the other rooms, we would see that not everyone is happy. But
That happens with every release of everything, everywhere, every time.
yeah. But I'm having, I mean, it doesn't pick up style as well as just pure Midjourney does, but it's still gorgeous. Oh, that's neat, Reason. Does it even look like you anymore when it's not your expressions?
Well, not exactly, but
Yeah.
definitely. Well, some of them. Bottom left, bottom right hand looks more like me.
Oh, yeah. The one that's
Very
frowning a little
sad.
bit there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, God. What else should we try? Did anyone discover anything amazing? Restoring photographs. Yeah. Somebody was showing me that
Oh,
earlier.
that's a good one.
That is a good one. Okay, so do I have a bad photograph in here? How many bad photographs do I have? So many. Hold on. I've got literally some old photographs here. So restore this photograph. So I'll give you a look at the original, if I can. What the original photograph looks like.
Okay.
And this is how it's improved. Let's say restore this photograph. Zoom
There might
in
be a
so the
little
photograph
too much chaos.
is the only thing in the picture. Oh, and I've still got stylized 1000 on. For crying. Heckin'
I think
reset.
it will really help if you like crop the wood out of it.
Yeah. Hey, Snoops.
Hey, Snoops.
There we go. I didn't crop it. I just asked it to zoom in.
Nice.
That's great. Maybe I
Try
can
like
remove the glare too.
color correct.
Oh yeah. Express it in full color. Oh, Tiffon, that's amazing.
Whoa.
Okay, here we go. There's color.
Wow. Not terrible.
In modern photography, full color.
Maybe it's because the original wasn't that needing much of a restore.
That's true. If somebody has a crappier picture. Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
Is that your mom?
That's it.
That's my mom and dad.
Aw, that's so cool.
He passed a year ago on August 13th.
I'm so sorry.
The dudes continue to look a little bit like my dad, but the woman doesn't look like my mom in all of these. It's changing her face. But my dad continues to look mostly like my dad. But look how much
You know
her
what's
face
interesting?
changes.
I've noticed that with my mom too. In like retexturing and images, like retrying to do it. It's always my mom who doesn't look like herself, but my dad's almost spot on, pretty much. I wonder if it's something in the training data.
I wonder if it's biological that we notice
Oh,
that.
definitely.
Like our snake brains are incredibly sensitive about that. This time I said do not change their faces. That's better. I mean, it's still, well, now that doesn't look anything like my dad all of a sudden, but I feel like that's better. Am I lying? Am I lying to myself? Well, her face is not as clear either in this. But yeah, that doesn't look like her.
I got an old photo that's pretty badly damaged if you want to try it.
Yeah.
See
This
if
is
they'll let me
makes a
upload
cool
it.
movie though. I wanna
Mhm.
like screen capture this and
Oh yeah,
just
that's cool. Do that with
There's
like
like
repeat.
500 of them.
yeah. That is so cool, like, as a movie.
Maybe you can make like slight changes to them, like their positioning or movement.
Yeah.
Frame
Okay.
by frame animation, yeah.
Ugh, it's so cool. Everything is so cool. Okay. The FAQ is going to be pretty simple, I think. Okay. Restore this photo. Do you want it full color?
Oh, it doesn't matter to me.
Remove the wrinkles and clarify the. I don't know if I have to say all that much.
I've actually restored this image with now a banana already. If you want a comparison.
Yeah.
That's
Let's
just
see if I
comparing
can find
apples
it.
to bananas.
This is fantastic.
Comparing boats to bananas.
Okay. There is a version of Midjourney's output.
Oh, yeah, that came out good.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find. Too many folders.
I wonder if it's because I said modern that's changing the. I don't know. Whoops. What do you want me to do with this one, Mark?
Yeah, see what it could do. Like color correct or sharpen it. I don't know.
Hi, Rodrigo. Would you like your microphone? In case you want to. Okay, there we go.
Hey, you guys hear me?
Yes, hello.
Hey, hello.
Howdy. Yeah, good to see some people joining forces. What is the mission so far?
The mission is to mess around with the new editor and edit features and find out what it can do. And then this is being recorded, so eventually I will ask AI to pass through the recording and pull out all the gems, and then I'll publish that to our community site, and
Wonderful.
we're gonna have a bunch of games that use the editor, and it's just gonna be amazing. It's just the whole world is gonna be amazing now.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm
Bernet's excited.
I'm excited.
Awesome. I'll be around. I can't speak too much now because of the baby, but I'll follow through the chat. It's pretty
Oh,
cool.
we don't
to
care
see
about
the
babies. No, I'm
image.
just kidding. Okay. All right, that's fair.
Yeah, she doesn't know, so it's good. Awesome. Good luck.
Thank you.
I shared the images that I think they were made with now banana. If I'm not mistaken. mistaken.
Well, if it wasn't Nano Banana, it could only be one of 10,000 other ones. No, this is really good. I'm having fun.
It is really
This
good.
does a good job too. I'm actually going to take that restore photo idea and try it on some real photos.
How does that feel? Like, is it legit to the expressions of your mom and dad?
I don't know. Let me think about it.
That image I shared, I just asked it. I just said restoration of damaged photo. That was all I asked for in Midjourney.
That one's better. This one kind of has my mom's sort of. My dad looks like he's just like, yes, take the
Awkward.
picture. Could you just take the picture, please? That's good reason. What else, coffee enjoyer? What else should we try? That was a great idea. So hold up. If I start, I can do a video now where I can do the first frame there and the second frame, and the last frame is holding out the bottle.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So by using edit, the character offers the bottle. I don't know the character. Shit, I can't prompt like that with the video. Oh, and I said characters. Oh God. Yeah, there's now so many different prompting styles. There's regular prompting, there's edit prompting, there's conversational mode prompting, and there's video prompting.
Now I'm interested. Like, is Claude also running on the video model? Like, could you create like text in there?
Oh, I said low motion, but I guess he's gonna move the bottle around a lot before he offers it to you. You can see that already. Oh, that's cool, Compasta. Simply rerunning the same prompt over and over again is worth doing because the LLM reinterprets. It reinterprets it each time.
Yeah, that's why we kept on getting different texts, right, for the thing, the gay dating website.
Right.
There we go. That's good. This owl can't shut up.
I'm not gonna comment.
It's okay. I won't leave any room for you to comment. I'll just keep talking and talking and talking. What is going on with my Discord? Come here, Discord.
Hey, has it always been possible to rotate when cropping?
I don't know.
I can rotate while I crop.
Rotate
No.
while cropping. An editor.
Hmm.
Okay, crop. How do I rotate? Oh,
Grab the corner.
grab a corner. Whoa, yeah, that seems new to me. Grab a corner and rotate it. Rotating's been there for a while. How did I miss that? My job to know these things, and I just can't keep up. It's ironic, because it's my job to learn all the stuff and then turn it into things that we can learn from and to teach stuff. But that takes so much time, I often fall behind. Darn it.
Oh,
I
you should
know.
look at Carlos's like images he share. If you like toggle between them, you can.
Oh, these are
That's what I was doing. Yeah.
amazing. Oh, amazing. Ugh. Dang.
Carlos, are those like family photos, or did you just Google damaged photos?
No, that's my great grandpa, Mr. Grandpa Generation. He was in the Battle of Midjourney V1. Another just generated with Midjourney.
Yeah.
Could not copy image. What are you doing, copy paste?
That's fantastic, Carlos. Oh, she's got a blonde ponytail in the back there.
Oops.
For some reason in Midjourney, at least the results I got, like it's always like an awkward kiss or way over the top.
That's hard to look at. But I like the idea of using using the editor to create the beginning and last frames.
Yeah, I'm gonna play around with that tonight.
Like remove the poodle lying in the bed. So I can make the dog get up and leave by removing the poodle from the image. Okay. So now I have, oh, it removed the bed too. I didn't want it to remove the bed.
I think calling it the editor when you're just creating a prompt in the chat, is a bit confusing. Because then there's
There's
actual
the region
editor.
There's the region editor, the in painting out painting editor, the region editor, and then there's -- edit, which is what we're using. I suppose we could say, well, no, we can't say that. But I just call it the region editor because that's what it's for technically. Okay. So if I make this, oh wait, is it the same bed? Oh. Oh. This one is. Okay. So I have to put this on video and then make this end frame and say the poodle gets up, stretches, and walks out of the frame. Let's try that. Oh yeah, it's the set of cheers. No, tell me about that, Johnny. Do you need to be unmuted again?
Well, I played with that a bit, and yeah, it sort of seems to treat the image prompt like a base image, like in the old editor. And so you can then insert the thing that you have after the edit. Or like that's more the OREF.
Okay,
Like
you're gonna have to tell me what you mean.
Like
Let's
it
try
keeps
it. Let's try it.
the composition pretty closely of the image ref, and then it treats the other one as like the flexible object.
This is cute. What am I doing with my beak?
Yapping.
Whoa, get off the dogs, tell you. So it did preserve the frog and it sort of preserved the boy. I'm not sure what it borrowed from the image prompt.
Well, the way I used it was basically swapping two characters' faces. So like use like the IREF for the scene and then the face in the edit.
Okay, let me put a background scene in
And
here.
I found, that like it matters which goes where.
Okay, image prompts. Okay, so I'm going to find a background, which I do have. Okay, here's just an empty road. And then I will we'll use this guy, photograph of a guy, photograph of an empty road. And I'm going to say the man stands on an empty road. And we'll see how that compares to using that as the second prompt in the editor. Oh, I see. It's like almost like a green screen if you use it as an image prompt.
kind of.
And then this is going to be better integrated, I bet. Yeah. And then what if I use my Stormy? Where is it? Chasing the light. That's my storm light. Where'd it go? Might cast better light on him. Yeah. That made a big difference. He looks like he's there.
Yeah.
Because this light wouldn't be very shadowed.
Uh-huh.
Oh, congratulations, Snoops. Wow, this mood board made such a difference. I'm going to say on a stormy day.
No, it's almost
Ooh.
midnight. I must go before I turn into a squash or a pumpkin.
Okay.
What is it? What do they turn into?
It's a
Pumpkin?
pumpkin. It's a pumpkin. But for you, it would be a squash. I think that's accurate.
Good night, Carlos. Take care.
Good night.
Bye. Look at his thin shadow. That's crazy. In the pouring rain. I'm going to make it sad now. Oh, good night, gum pasta. I mean, good morning.
Sorry about that.
Awesome. Look at the moon. Yeah, while you folks in San Francisco and wherever you and in Paris. France, I mean. Good night, Gumpasta. Really struggling with this one. Wow, that's great, Tiffin. No, didn't really improve it. Okay, this time the rainy picture is an edit, an EREF, an SREF, and an IREF. Looks a little better unified, not great. No, now it's worse. Yeah, I want to believe too. They're pretty funny pictures. Wow, so that was like version 2 or something? Version 3? Yeah. Well, welcome back, Rodrigo. We are happy to have you. Well, it seems to be winding down here. So I am thinking I might call it a night. But Victor Gnarly's event is going to blow our minds tomorrow. So please try to make it. And you know that means you have to get some sleep. Mm-hmm. There's the event. If you want to click the interested button, that should show you the event at your own time zone. You bet, Snoopy. I'm writing it down. I have a huge list of editor games. I have one a little bit like that, but not exactly. Heck yes. Okay, you guys, if you think of games, after we hang up, just send them in DM or sit in here and tag me, and I'll pick them up tomorrow. Thanks, everyone. I hope you get some rest, regardless of your time zone.